All right, hello. I am Straw Hat Lucas, captain of the Eternal Dawn, and I'm joined today by.
Yeah, yo, what's up, guys? I'm Joshua Vykthor, the musician of the Eternal Dawn.
And welcome to Weekly Reads. This is a new series on the channel that me and Josh will be doing. We were talking and realized we read a lot of the same weekly mangas, so why not come on here and talk with everyone about them? Obviously, spoilers for the series Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, Gachiakuta, DANDADAN, and JUJUTSUkaisen ahead. Let's get started with Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, though. So this is the newest series we're both reading. It's only 13 chapters. I highly recommend, stick around for this section. If you don't mind getting, it's brief spoilers. There's not really a lot that has happened in the series yet to be heavily spoiled. But stick around, see if you like the vibe of the series while we're talking about it, because Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be one of the next big hitters for Shonen Jump, especially with JJK ending. My Hero's over now. One Piece is in its final arc, but that's our saga, and that's still going to take 10 years, but neither here nor there. Josh, what have you so far been thinking about Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi?
It's a really good comedy wrapped in a shonen. The shonen tropes and everything. And also, yeah, slice of life-ish. I love that part of the series.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite. I think it was about 2 chapters ago when Kiyoshi went out and he did bowling and stuff with his friends. And I think I posted on my YouTube about it. It was group piss. And that was one of his goals because he never experienced childhood. I really love the comedy aspect of it. And I'm really liking it has that battle shonen vibe, but I don't know, the battles are just so intense, man. The first we've had 2 kind of big fights in the series so far, right? We had that first one in the first issue, the opening fight. And then we had the second one with what is his name? Jojack?
The second Demon Lord.
Yeah.
In the second chapter.
In the second chapter. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. But then we also had what is it? Is his name Jojack? That's his name, right? The demon.
Jack Joe.
Jack Joe. Yeah, sorry. Oh, I don't know how I mixed that up. Yeah, we had that big fight, and that was wild too because there was a human element to it. It was Exorcist versus Exorcist, and I really like the fighting so far. Anyone who's watching, like I said earlier, make sure you got to check out Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi. Now let's get into chapter 13 though. So they are in the middle of the Cross Paladin exams. That's what it's called, correct?
Yeah, I think so. And they passed the first part of the test.
Yeah, so they're in the second part of the exam now. In the, what is it called? The forest? They say it in the chapter. I'm just going to look.
Memento Forest.
Memento Forest. There it is. All right, so they're in Memento Forest, and their goal is to find, it's a shrine, right, that they're trying to get to in the middle of the forest. On the way there, obviously, demons galore. And Kiyoshi is joined by his fellow graduate, Mr. Sosuke Hitsugi. This is kind of his. You described it better than I did because I said it was his rival.
Yeah, basically, it's his new friend. It's not a rivalry forming; it's a friendship.
True, and he helped during the Jack Joe battle. Too, he was the one that convinced his superior to basically spare them and be because he was "Oops, I dropped this thing that'll definitely help you. Get out of here."
Yeah, and also I want to correct you. So something like this. This test is not about getting to the heart of the forest, getting out of the forest. And beware of the heart of the forest.
Yeah. So what did you think of chapter 13, my man?
It's really good. You saw a lot of demon designs unique to this series, pretty much.
Yeah.
And also, the dynamic of the 3 characters in this chapter.
Yeah,
the 2 geniuses that. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's what I was actually gonna bring up too. You mentioned the demon design, what the monster Jonathan Spider, the superclass demon they fought. Jonathan Spider, most of the demons we've seen so far have been pretty much strictly humanoid with a little bit of disfigurement and stuff like that. But This thing is basically just I'm gonna put up a panel on screen, but it's basically just like a giant man with a bunch of arms, and then they fight that tree one too that gets one-shotted by Moonrise Kingdom and Aquagun. Like, I really like. I cannot remember his name off the top of my head, but the guy that is with them right now, he surprise knockout character for me, if I'm being honest. I'm a little worried that it's Mr. Tosaka. Or Tosaka. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. You know me, Japanese. Yeah. But I really think that I'm worried his character is gonna die, especially with like the sad nuanced story we got from him this chapter, where during his first run at the trials, his best friend died.
From the tone of the story until now, I don't think he's gonna die. He's gonna have a moment with him and the other two guys.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Especially where the chapter let off. We also had a surprise fourth member to the party show up this chapter, which is Cook.
Yes.
Yes, Cook, the exorcist bird who acts like a dog and has an amazing sense of smell.
And also wears sneakers.
Yeah, and wears sneakers for some reason. Definitely a mascot character of the century potential right there. If they ever come out with I love him already. If they ever come out with like a Cook plush, I'm getting that. I'm not even a plush kind of guy, but I'll get me a Cook plush. And then one thing I really liked is that he threw in the mangaka. I'm not familiar with his name yet, or their name yet. I don't even know if it's a man. But they threw in a little bit of world building with Kiyoshi's. Oh my goodness, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not necessarily his trainer, but it's the guy he's working under. But it's not necessarily his boss either. You know who I'm talking about. What is his name? Oh, it's gonna kill me. Yeah, so they show his mentor briefly, Sakaki, during the same trials that Mr. Totsuki, I think is his name. I think that's what we said his name was.
No, that's how the Paladin, I think. The Cross Paladin we saw a few chapters.
No. Look, in the chapter he's smoking a cigarette, which is I definitely think that is Sakaki. Yeah, it's Sakaki, man. And he was the one who was like, dying during a test, that would be stupid. So it's a little bit of world building. And then I know we're kind of rushing through this one, but it's because, like I said earlier, it's kind of a fresh series, right? There's not much to talk about with it yet. But that's the beauty of it, is that every week we get to come here and learn more about this world together. Exactly. How much trouble, before we move on from Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, how much trouble do you think Yana's gonna give those boys?
Yeah, not that much. Like, we saw that his character is like, he lets others do his work, basically.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that Kiyoshi and Sosuke both were like, he's a third-rate exorcist. Like, that's just telling right there that he more than likely is just going to be a pushover for him.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm excited to see where this series goes, if I'm honest. Like I said multiple times already, I really want as much of our audience to read it as possible. It's only 13 chapters, so you could read it and, take an hour or two of your day, read these 13 chapters, get caught up, and come back and enjoy the weekly read of it with me and Josh. Let's move on, though, to one that I think we both have a lot to say about. Which is Gachikuda, chapter 111. Wow.
This chapter.
Yeah, spoilers ahead, obviously, for Gachikuda. If you want to stick around and see if the series interests you, obviously, from our discussions, do so. But I do want to give a spoiler warning. First things first, I have to say is I want to fist fight Tamsi more than anything in this world. I'm glad Amo's safe and that she's with Rudo, but at the same time, I'm like, I need him to figure out that Tamsi's the one that was doing this to her.
I mean, that's the thing with at the end of the chapter. Does he know? Does he not know? Exactly. How much does he?
Yeah, so I gotta ask, do you think he knows?
I think he knows that he's connected to everything, but he doesn't know what he actually did, what his role is in everything.
Yeah, I think he knows he's the angel. Or
I think
he's connected to the angel.
Yeah, I don't think he knows directly that he's the angel because, yeah, he would directly attack him and punch him to death.
Yeah, once I said it out loud, I was like, yeah, that's not Naruto's character. The minute he found out Tamsi was the angel, he'd be like, it's time to throw hands, man. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I'm gonna be honest, man, the Tamsi twist was something I did not see coming at all. Like, I knew he was kind of shady, because that's how they wrote his character, especially after the battle with Amo. But when they revealed that in that chapter where, like, he's walking down the hallway and it shows her in the cage and stuff, blew my mind. I'm not familiar with the mangaka's name of Gachiakuda.
Yorana.
Thank you.
Yeah, Yorana.
Yeah, they have some of the best world building and character writing I've seen in modern manga. A lot of modern manga. Have you read all Demon Slayer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same I give. How did you feel about it?
About Demon Slayer, like, I already, like, when I was early in anime, didn't have that much of a taste or knowledge. And yeah, basically, Demon Slayer is carried by the anime.
I agree entirely. I think the story is really weak, but I am going to use that as, like, that's an example of, like, modern shonen specifically, and how they kind of, like, as long as the pictures look cool, that's what matters most. Like, and I'm not dumping on all shonens or anything like that, because there are good shonens being released weekly. I mean, we're talking about a couple of them on here, but it is seem to be going that way a lot. And Gachiakuda is just a breath of fresh air to me. And Ultimate Exorcist Kyoshi both have just been such an enjoyable weekly read. Especially like in these last few chapters with Rudo and the chest and everything we found out about the Watchmen series. Oh, that's actually a question I have. What do you think the real name of the Watchmen series is?
The real name? I can't. It could be anything at this point. I have no. For now, it's just the Watchmen series.
Yeah.
until we have the flashback to the Undertaker.
You think we're gonna get more of a flashback to that?
I mean, pretty much we already saw him in the Kuro flashback.
Ooh, yeah, you're right. I need to learn more about Rudo's family too.
Yeah, and the only one that knows about this is Tamsi. He knows the most.
Yeah, because he has that book. And it's, what do you exactly think that book's power is, man?
I don't know, but everything points that it's another part of the Watchmen series.
I think it allows you to change the viewer's perspective if you read the book to them. Like, you know how when you're reading a good book and you can see everything in your head? It's the same thing, but outwardly. You're making them see what you're telling them. So when he tricked Amo into thinking it was a long-haired woman, he's telling her from the book, this long-haired woman is only giving you water, or you know what I mean? Like things like that. That said, a lot of the instruments are psychological based, so I don't know if you verbally actually have to read from the book.
Yeah, that based. Yeah, also it's a book. It's about telling a story.
Exactly. Oh God, I can't get over Rudo's face. It's the face of someone lying to me. Like,
yeah, how much does he know? We need to know what Kuro told him.
Exactly. I think we're gonna get that in a flashback here soon. Probably in the next few chapters, we'll get like the reveal of what exactly Kuro told him.
Yeah, and also I think Amo is sticking around. Like, she's gonna be part of the team.
I think so as well. As weird as it sounds, but just because I view things with a more slice of life aspect, like I look into it a little bit more now, especially after reading DANDADAN, and like we just talked about with Ultimate Exorcist Kyoshi and how it dips into slice of life, and Frieren. I think Amo is going to be Rudo's like love interest for the series, because a lot of tropes in manga, the main character has that, and I haven't seen an actual one for him. If not, they're going to be the closest of friends.
I'm saying there are signs that Rudo and Ryu is gonna be a thing. Like there is the one, there is that one panel when they came back to base and Rudo was asleep. Yeah, he was asleep at all because Ryu was sleeping on him.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, see, I think that as well, but it's a little, I don't want to say it's weird, because she's like, what, 20? And Rudo's like 15, 16?
What?
Yeah. Isn't Rio like 20? I looked it up.
No, Rio is 16.
Oh, then okay, yeah. Then it isn't weird. Forget what I said. I clicked on a Star Wars thing on accident. I forgot to put Gachi Akuda after that. I'm leaving this bit in.
Yeah, like, yeah, I know that Rudo is 15, Rio is 16.
Yeah, she's
They're crossing
16. I need to know more about the Shipwright family, man. Like that and the Watchmen series are probably my two biggest mysteries. That and the actual freaking Watchman that sits between the realms. Like,
yeah,
I need to know more about that.
And also, yeah, this series just feels like it just barely began and it already has 100 chapters in.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be one of those mangas that surprises everyone with its length. I think it's gonna reach the heights of like Bleach and Naruto, where it's 700-800 chapters.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want that. I want that for it because of how good the writing is, like I said earlier, and the world building. When I saw that panel of the Watchmen, luckily it's on my channel on stream. You can go look at it. When I saw that panel of the Watchmen, it blew my mind. Like, and it has just ramped up to 11 lately. Josh and I both have been telling the whole crew to keep, like, we keep getting on the crew, like, you have to read Gachi Akuda.
Yeah, it feels very One Piece, like, the lore reveal.
Yeah, the lore drops feels very, very akin. Like, that's why I'm so excited for this next generation of manga, because it's all people who are inspired by, at least for me, because I know you are younger than I am, but like, it's all people who are inspired by the manga that I loved as a child. You know what I mean? It's all people like my age that are doing this shit. Yeah, I think Amo's sticking around though. I think. And I
can look at the team we got. Like, we have the 4 main characters we were introduced to them, Fu, and now Amo. Our main cast is getting bigger.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I like that. I like a good expansive like group dynamic. The question is how are they gonna deal with Tamsi once they figure out? Because the man can cross between the realms.
Yeah, and also the fact that he has basically a part of the Watchmen series with a book. Like, I want to see a fight between Tamsi and Zodiel, a fight between the villains.
So wait, do you think him and Zodiel will be enemies, or do you think that they'll be working together?
I think there will be enemies. They're pretty much set up as different factions.
Yeah. So it'll be 3 different factions, not for the end game, but for the climax of this then.
Yeah.
Where it's Zodiel, Tamsi, and then the janitors.
And yeah, who knows what other Watchmen user is gonna be revealed.
Exactly. It's that's like I keep saying about the Watchmen series, man. That's my biggest question is how many items are in the Watchmen series, because they're all items owned by Shipwright.
Yeah, I would say like 8 is pretty much perfect number, and also ties back to the previous series of Okubo.
Ooh,
and
yeah,
Urana,
you're right.
Yeah, Urana worked on those series. And also the significance with that. Because
we've seen the gloves, we've seen the boots, we've seen a cloak, we've now seen a book. Was the chest part of the Watchmen series, or did it just have the founder symbol on it? Yeah, it was just marked. It wasn't part of the Watchmen series. And then whatever the person who makes the colors has as well is definitely part of the Watchmen series. So that's 5 right there. Yeah. Unless I'm forgetting any. Yeah. So I think 8 is a good number, because it's obviously, like I said, it's personal effects of Shipwright and whatever he was able to do with them. Ooh. Interesting indeed. Yeah, I think this chapter was killer, man. I really do. Like I said, the last few chapters have just been ramp up after ramp up. Like, we almost saw Zodiel and so yeah, we almost saw Zodiel in engine fight, right? For Kuro. Over Kuro. Yeah. But I just remembered something I wanted to ask you actually before we move on from Gachi Akuda. What do you think Zodiel and his team are going to ask Kuro for information about? They don't have to ask, they already have the information. No, they have to wait a month, remember? Yeah, but I'm saying Momo already has the information. You think she actually this is my issue. Got some of it? Because I think that because he overloaded her brain that she'll forget whatever she had learned. No, this is the deal. This is what Kuro was planning. Like, she got so much information that her brain shut down.
But the information is still there. Like he said, like, yeah, it would take like a month to process the information.
Oh! So that was a mistake on my reading comprehension. I thought that they would have to wait a month to get the information. So it's just so that Momo can process the information. That makes sense now. Okay, because I was sitting here like, why would they have to wait a month? And what is Kuro planning within that month? But no, so it's just, that's how long it will take for her to process all of the information that man put into her head. Like 200 years of information that he put into her head.
And not even that, she didn't get to the 200 years, like,
yeah.
She gets, it's so much information that she didn't get to experience all of that.
She got like 6 months of information.
Well, like 60 years.
Yeah. Next up on the list is DANDADAN with chapter 167. Of course, spoiler warnings, especially if you're waiting for the anime to come out. But, dude, DANDADAN, just like Gachikuda, has just been peak after peak after peak for these past few chapters.
Yeah. Like last chapter ended with Momo seeing the fairy.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think the fairy actually? Do you think it's an actual fairy, a gnome, like? Because it's got that little pointed hat. Look at my little pointed hat, man.
Yeah, maybe it's like a fairy, like it's elf-like. I don't know, we have to see it. Like we barely got a glimpse of it.
I know, yeah, right. I expected a little bit more from it, but I'm guessing we're gonna get Momo's library adventure next chapter, because they did leave her there.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm really excited about is the core cast being a part of this arc. I was really upset last arc. That was like my only gripe with it, was that, you know, like we didn't see Kento or oh my god, Arya, or what does?
Wait, it is Ira.
Yeah, Ira. Wait, how are you using it? Ira?
Yeah, Ira.
Ida. I say Ira. Ida makes more
Why?
sense. I don't know. That's just how I say it. But yeah, I'm glad to see like her and Gigi back, and like, you know, like I said, Kento, who I had to put on the thumbnail and in the background. I was trying to get all of like the most recent volume covers, but they didn't have all of them, so I was like, all right, we're putting Kento on there.
My boy.
My boy. Listen, he's peak physical fitness.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, speaking of physical fitness, I guess that's a perfect segue to what made up the meat of this chapter. Which also...
That teacher, though. Why does he have the pants like that?
Not only the pants, what's up with his hair, bro? I'm gonna put up... Hold on, I gotta find a really good picture of him so we can put it up. Because I guess that's the only one. Into the chapter. Yeah, I thought there was one right there. Yep. Alright, so
bro, leave the hair. Why the pants?
They're dude, like the pants are pulled up to his nipples. He looks like Garo from One Punch Man. The rest of the, well, at least the men in the group, except for Gigi. Gigi was not in the gym class. Head to gym class. So Kento and Mr. Okarun go to gym class, and the whole time I was reading this, man, I was like, Josh was right. I'm just gonna be honest. I was like, you called this with him getting imprinted.
Yeah, basically, I immediately saw the parallel to JJK. Like, he lost the turbo his powers, but they were in him for so long that it was imprinted on him. And also, on the last fight, he basically got allowed to. He went to his limits.
Yeah.
Going allowed 3 times.
Yeah, and not only that, like, do you think that it's almost like, it's like, look how freaking far he threw that. Like the running fast thing, like I expected him to be able to run faster, but the shock put ball is what got me. How far he threw that, I was like, so do you think it's superhuman levels of athleticism?
Like, I just saw him that when he's in the turbo granny mode, like here he is superhuman there.
Yeah.
So that just comes with the power.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking it is too, man. I think he is above like the average human, and I think we'll start seeing him even tap in. Do you think that's actually a better way to frame this? Do you think we'll see him starting to tap into Turbo Granny's powers without her there, like taking on that form at all?
Yeah, exactly. Also, pretty much setting up that Turbo Granny is gonna be captured by or have a fight with Count Saint Germain.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's what's going to be the setup for them going to fight him, or like the instigator to the big battle with him is he'll kidnap Turbo Granny, because we saw he was collecting yokai for their powers.
Yeah.
What do you think DANDADAN is?
I mean, I'm not familiar with DANDADAN.
Are you not familiar with DANDADAN?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I am at a loss for what exactly it could be, my man. I tried to look up things. I found some stuff in Buddhism. Can I be honest? With how important the romantic side of this manga is, like, you and I both freaked out when he finally told Momo that he loved her. Like, that was such a big moment for the whole community. Like, with how big it is, I feel like DANDADAN will be the bond between, like, whatever it is, it will tie into the bond between Momo and Okuran.
Yeah, I think the concept of DANDADAN is something like enlightenment, and Count Saint Germain, his story is gonna come into that, and also the inspiration from the real life. Yeah, what?
Yeah. Have you read any about Count Saint Germain, like his real life counterpart?
Yeah. Basically, people saw him all over history, but there was actually a Count Saint Germain.
It's one of my favorite mythologies, honestly. Like, I talked about it in the Rambling Addiction episode I did on DANDADAN, where like it's just such a, I don't want to say myth because he was a real person, but obviously he did not live for hundreds. I mean, maybe he did. Who's to say? Do you know the meaning of DANDADAN?
Yeah, maybe like he uses all the alien technology and ghost powers to be practically immortal, but he wants to be more than that.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think he's striving to be more human, because that's a really big trope with immortality, especially in anime and manga, is where like they've been alive for so long that they've forgotten what it means to be human. Look at like Full Metal Alchemist or Ancient Magus Bride. So that the thing they long for the most is either to be human or to die. And I don't think he's wanting to die.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, though. Very, very, very interesting. Very solid chapter from DANDADAN this week. Anything more you want to say on DANDADAN before we move on to JJK?
The moment between Okuran and Momo, this chapter, like, every chapter, man, with them. I know. They're already a couple.
Yeah, they're a couple. To me, they're a couple. Like, Gigi coming in and being like, hey, come with me. I expected the fact that Okuran didn't get that jealousy that we'd seen from him before, or that, like, you know, he gets disheartened a little bit about how Momo feels about him. That didn't happen at all this chapter. It didn't even get acknowledged when Gigi was like, come with me or anything like that. So that tells me right there that, yeah, they're a couple already. We're just waiting for that conversation to happen. I find myself at DANDADAN, like, when the big battles are like in their last phases, I'm like, I can't wait for this to be over so I can see how Momo and Okuran are doing in their relationship. It's big.
For real.
They got
and also, like,
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we are pretty much in a new saga at this point. we got the Okuran's balls back, and now Momo is small.
Yeah. And now Momo is small. This is the new, like, goal, is to get Momo back to normal size. Like, yeah, I was worried that they might try to wrap it up once he got both his balls back. For anyone who hasn't watched read DANDADAN and is listening to us talk about this kid's balls, that is the plot of the manga. He loses both of his testicles, and they have to go find them because they get turned into magical gold orbs. Yeah, it's weird. But no, I was worried that they were Tatsu would try to wrap it up once they found him. So I'm glad that he's finding a way to keep the story going, because I could read this story for another 500, 600 chapters easily. I don't think it'll go that long, but I could.
Yeah, give me more.
More DANDADAN. I need to know if Tatsu himself is familiar with DANDADAN. Okay, so I feel like this is the one that we both are going to speak the most on. And that is JUJUTSUKAISEN chapter 270, The End of the Dream. Listen, I'm sorry. Jujutsu. JUJUTSUKAISEN. There, Josh.
All right, let's get going.
Opening of this chapter was beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really glad that Megumi's sister. Oh my god, I just said Megumi. Wait, that's right. Why am I freaking out about that? Anyway, I'm so glad that that Megumi's sister got the burial that she deserved. It was really sweet and tender. And then I don't know, man. This is the kind of stuff I needed wrapped up. I want to hear what you're thinking of this chapter before I go too deep into how I feel about it, though.
Yeah, pretty much. Most of the chapter it just gives some of the characters closure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some things I just brushed off, like they still told us like, yeah, the culling game is done.
It's lost its purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, Kengen. Yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying Kengen will. His corpse is still exists, so the barriers won't disappear. But then they have to prepare in case something happens, and yeah, that won't be a problem.
Yeah, I need to know, like, because you just said Tengen's core still exists, so the merger can be avoided. But there was a panel in here that kind of confused me, and I was actually hoping that you could give it some clarity for me. It might have been in the last chapter. Now that I'm thinking about it. But there was a person they showed, and I could not figure out who it was.
What?
I
the old lady from last chapter? The old lady?
Yeah, I think it was the old lady from the last chapter.
She was the head of the New Shadow School.
Oh, yeah! And then this chick right here.
That's the chick that helps the sorcerers.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw her in season 1 in Shibuya.
Yeah, see, because I remembered her. Like, I remembered her briefly being in the story, you know what I mean? But I just could not remember exactly where she was. I liked seeing the sumo wrestler guy from the Culling Games. I'm glad he made it out alive.
Yeah, best duo in the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, where were they in the fight with Sukuna?
Yeah, both him and the old man should have stepped in.
Yeah, well, at least the old man, he would be very useful.
Do you think this is actually Kenjaku with Takaba?
I mean, I think it's Takaba's perception of Kenjaku, like his ability created the perfect partner.
Yeah, the perfect comedy partner. I love that. Like, ooh. Or maybe Kenjaku became a cursed spirit and it's attached to Takaba now. Like, that could be the case as well. But I like what you said more, though, right?
Yeah, I don't think there is a possibility that Kenjaku would be a cursed spirit because, yeah, you have got the job done.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I like the possibility that you brought up more, though, especially with Takaba's just reality-altering ability as a cursed energy user. Like, yeah, I like that possibility more. That he's created the perfect partner because of how good the finale with Kenjaku was. Like, that is perfect.
Yeah, and also we don't see his face in the chapter.
I hope Gege elaborates on that just a little bit in the last chapter. I really do. Also,
he won't.
I cannot remember. Like, I remember the interaction between these two. Cannot remember them for the life of me.
Yeah, that's the guy from the Culling Games that helped Yuji, and in the fight with Sukuna, he was on the support team.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember that. It's just, or I remember the interaction between them two, like why he's apologizing. I just could not place where they were. I couldn't remember if they were in the Culling Games or the
Yeah, it was the Culling Games.
Or Shinjuku. Is that what it is? Shinjuku Showdown?
Yeah, it was the Culling Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shinjuku Showdown.
Okay, so I did have it right. Okay, I was second guessing myself for nothing.
And yeah, we saw Higuruma. Yeah, what?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was about to ask up is Higuruma. Do you think he's gonna like stay with the sorcerers and help them?
I mean, he said himself he's gonna be worked to death because straight up says they want me to they want to be used as they want to use me as a sorcerer.
Yeah. Hints at Fushiguro marrying the angel. What do you think about that?
Yeah, they're a perfect pair.
I thought so as well. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I didn't see it at all until this chapter. Then once that little interaction happened, I was like, I want to see what this goes.
Yeah, they're perfect. Like, we saw the moments between them in the Culling Games, and they are now.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's cute. And we need a little bit of romance in JJK, even if it is at the end.
Yeah.
What?
And then well,
yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I'm saying now the end of the chapter. When what's going on with this?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. What do you think this is? Because, like they said, it's most likely a cursed spirit.
No, cursed user.
Or cursed user, but they're not doing any harm to the person. They're just changing the appearance to his lover. Like, he looks fine to everyone else. I think this is set up for a sequel, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, either that was the final chapter with the trio doing on a mission.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, there is a lot of points that JJK will have a sequel or something like that. And also, next week is gonna be, this week is gonna be some sort of announcement.
Exactly. Oh yeah, they did say that. I think, if I'm being honest, I think that the cursed user that's doing this, maybe they were a person who partook in the calling games and they lost their lover in it. So in retaliation, this is like headcanon theory. In retaliation to it, they're making other people's lovers look weird to them, so they will no longer love them.
Yeah, something like that. It could be anything. Like, it could be just a guy that got trapped in all of this in this world.
Yeah. It's the manga brain guy, and he's just drawing people's faces how he wants them to look.
Now we see him this chapter. Like,
I know, that's why I said it. What are your thoughts going into this last chapter, man?
Like, I hope we get some closure on the military stuff, not just their mention. They're probably gonna go in. Like, if we get a series, if not, that went nowhere.
Yeah. The
invasion of Japan. And pretty much all the setup between Yuki and Geto, like, was the solution to cursed spirits.
Yeah, that's the thing I need a lot of closure on, is the solution to cursed spirits. I think that if there is a sequel series, it would be really cool to have it revolve around the crisis of multiple countries just storming into Japan.
Yeah, pretty much the cursed energy will be spread worldwide.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And it'll be a good way for Gege to flex their world building abilities, because they've got them, obviously. But I would love to see, what an American cursed energy user looks like, or what a Brazilian cursed energy user looks like. Like, give me as many parts of the world as you can. A French cursed user, and it's just Cube, and he's throwing baguettes in his domain expansion.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's perfect, yeah. Are you feeling any disappointment going into the last chapter?
Not really. Like, not really, because I know the possibility of a sequel is there, but I'm gonna feel disappointed if it's nothing and we don't get closure on this.
That's what my main worry is that if it isn't the case that he's setting up a sequel that'll come out in like the next few years or something, that it will be a disappointing conclusion to what has been, in my opinion, one of the best manga in the past like 10 years.
Yeah, pretty much that.
I felt this way when My Hero ended as well. I don't know if you were current on that or not, but it was. If I'm being honest, just full disclosure, I think the ending for My Hero was all right. Like, it wasn't good, but it wasn't necessarily bad either. They did give us a lot of closure on things. They set up other things. It just...
Yeah, I'm gonna say a mid-ending for a mid-series.
Yeah, exactly, because... Well, I wouldn't necessarily call My Hero mid. Just because... Yeah, I mean, that's your opinion. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna try to change your opinion. But to me, it was good up until the final arc. The final arc, they dragged it out. They kept telling Horikoshi, like, hey, extend it, and then he extended it, and then they're like, all right, now wrap it up. They basically did a reverse of what they did to Type Kubo on Bleach. And that really hurt the final arc. Really hurt the ending.
I saw difficult problems with My Hero ever since the Dark Deck arc, like when he went solo.
Yeah.
That arc was it was completely missed ever since.
Yeah, it was very out of character for how we knew Deku for the entire time. I got what he was trying to do with it. He just didn't execute it very well. Yeah,
but not even the execution. Like, it is supposed to be a Deku arc. We barely got anything for Deku.
Yeah.
Like, he was just there, so he can be there.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that...
Yeah, I'm gonna say, no character development. He went in this arc
Yeah.
as Deku and left as Deku, like it was nothing.
Yeah, there was no ramifications for it at all. That really takes away the weight, which I don't think Gege has that problem. I don't think he'll take away the weight of any of the things that have happened in the series. But there, like you said, there's so much that we need closure on. We need to know what's going on with the nations that invaded Japan, if there's going to be any fallout from that. We need to know if cursed energy is going to spread. We need to see, like, there's just so much, man. There's so, like, they kind of wrapped up the calling game shit in the whole, like, Tengen merger thing this chapter. I'm really hoping for like a 30-page chapter this week. I'm not gonna lie. I need something longer. Like this chapter was 22 pages or something like that. I think it was, yeah, no, it was 19. But I'm hoping for a longer chapter. Give me like a chapter 1 length final chapter, please, Gege.
Yeah, but still, I don't know what can be introduced in the final chapter to wrap up the series perfectly.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like maybe just an ending that is a cliffhanger.
Ooh, I would like that. I would like a cliffhanger ending where it sets up the sequel and then we get to theorize on what the sequel is going to be.
Yeah, pretty much how Kengen did it. Kengen Ashura ended with revealing the main antagonist of Kengen Omega.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, for anyone who read Kengen, like, they know.
I want it to end like Zatch Bell ended, where it's a cliffhanger, but at the same time, if that's the ending, the fans will be satisfied with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We skip 10 years in. We skip 10 years in the future, and everyone has cursed energy.
Yeah, everyone has cursed energy. Yuji is the head of Jujutsu High. Like, it'll be perfect. Perfect. Any closing thoughts on this chapter of Jujutsukaisen before we wrap up for the day?
I'm excited for the last chapter. Like that's it. I want to see the end of the series.
Yeah. I am too, man. I really am. I'm excited to see where Gege wraps it up. I am. I'm excited to come back here next week and talk to you about it. I feel like we're going to have a lot to speak on when it comes to JJK's last chapter.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. But yes, thank you guys all for joining us for the first episode of Weekly Reads. It may be a little bit rougher than the episodes to come, but we're still getting used to how we're going to do this. The overlay may change, you know, who knows? It's a new thing that we're doing. But yes, I've been Straw Hat Lucas, captain of the last arc, and I was joined today by...
Yeah, boy, vexyz the lurking legend.
It's your boy, vexyz the lurking legend. But obviously, I was joined by the wonderful musician of the Eternal Dawn, Mr. Joshua Vykthor. Thank you for being here with me, Josh. This was a good time.
Yeah.
All
See you next week.
Yep, see you next week.